Oh good, you're here! And you're not lost, I assume. If you are, say so, because that would be a major breakthrough.
On the mansion? I wonder how that
Ah,
happened.
good! Well, bit of a downer, actually. Got my hopes. Anyway, I'm Hilda Stoltz. Hi. I'm head of the organic sector, which is exactly where I'm about to run off to. But don't worry, my Uncle Hugo is very eager to meet you, just down the hall, in the Overseer's office, as he is the Overseer. Oh, and I've disabled the two-step lock, so coming and going should be easier now. Anyway, like I said, Uncle Hugo, down the hall. Toodaloo!
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place
Willkommen.
up a little.
Bitte komm rein. My niece told me to expect you. And do not mind my appearance. I can assure you I mean no harm. Can the same be said of you, though, outsider? Do you intend to harm us?
On the mansion? I wonder how that happened.
Where are my manners? I did not mean to be so standoffish. You are a most welcome guest here. I cannot be too careful. It has been a long time since we've spoken with anyone from the surface. Ah, fascinating. Is that the faint clicking of a Pip-Boy I hear? How grand. A colleague from another paradise below the ground. Vault 76, I take it? What a pleasant surprise. Wunderbar. Kismet even. We are having fun now, aren't we? Listen, my new friend. Regardless of what pretenses my dear niece may have brought you here with, I believe I can repay you for your effort. No catch. Just opportunity. As you may have ventured to guess on your trip here, our beloved Shenandoah has seen better days. Less stormy days. I'm in the midst of trying to get this under control, but our vault is still in a bit of a state of shock. If you'd be willing to engage in a bit of freelance work, I'm sure I can provide plenty of payment in kind. Fantastisch. I'm pleased to hear it. Perhaps I should introduce myself to assuage any hesitation you have. I am Hugo Stoltz, Overseer of Vault 63, yes, but also a principled man of business from the world of yore. Founder and CEO of Stoltz Enterprises, respected member of Vault Tech's board of directors, and overall international man of mystery. Allow me to formally welcome you to Vault 63 as our, let's say, outside consultant. Yes, that'll do perfectly. Oh, please. Hugo is just fine. Now, I'm sure you have many questions. I would expect no less, but I promise your first task will help you answer much. Speak with our Chief of Security, James T. Oberlin, and fetch me his latest situation report. I'd like to have him vet you a bit before we proceed any further. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer questions for you about our current predicament while you're at it. You'll do splendidly, I'm sure.
Seeing someone do so much good around here, it's refreshing.
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little. Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here. Need something?
As if things weren't bad enough. Now we have to keep an eye on an outsider. Been expecting you. James T. Oberlin, Chief of Security, Vault 63. Formerly United States Army. Ordinarily, an outsider would report directly to the security offices. But as you've seen, Mr. Stoltz isn't fond of ordinary. How exactly did you end up on our doorstep, outsider? And you were able to dispose of them. Interesting. Must mean you have some combat training. That could be helpful. Well, considering I'm entirely lacking any sort of credentials or background on you, Perhaps you can fill me in on your history. At least you're honest. Mr. Stoltz buzzed me ahead of your arrival and filled me in on the situation. Sorry for the test, but wanted to see how you'd present yourself. I appreciate your attempt to take this seriously, but I won't say I don't have my doubts. Let's see how this plays out, though. Here's my status report for Mr. Stoltz. You're dismissed, unless you have other questions. Fine. It's only fair that you're briefed on our situation. Our facility houses a large-scale weather control device. Some decades ago, an accident rendered it inoperable. However, a recent event has led to its reactivation. With that, we have the storm, along with other unexpected outcomes. One of our top priorities is bringing it back under our control. I'm afraid that's outside your clearance level. Classified. Good.
Seeing someone do so much good around
loitering
here,
in my office?
it's refreshing. Seeing someone do so much good around here, it's refreshing. Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here. Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
Ah, you've returned. I've just been thinking on some things.
The new animals up there.
Yes, that. Don't worry about that now. I have a question for you. Tell me, are we our brains? Yes, precisely. But is that not just scratching the surface? Consciousness, perception, encoding and the formation of memories. To take the observable world and sculpt from it a translation of ourselves, of others. And in the eyes of others, how many versions of us exist?
Supplies are starting to dwindle a little.
Of course. We've only just met.
You know,
I apologize.
storms.
You have the spirit of an old friend about you. I've forgotten there's much new ground to tread between us. I may have failed to mention this before, but I am or was blind. Born that way. After the incident that left me in this state, I became able to truly see the world. Well, perhaps it's more accurate to say, I feel the world. Pulses of electricity, waves bending and refracting, gentle hums of life vibrating shapes into being. This world I see, I share it with the lost. I live as they do, yet I remain myself. Perhaps more myself than I was before. But others were lost to it, and to us. Friends, colleagues, loved ones. When they witness this world, they're minded, well, I suppose I cannot explain what their mind perceives, just as one could never explain sight to me before. We have been trying to learn why this connection was permanently severed between us. Desperately so. A scientist, are you? Just like my Audrey and little Hilda. We are unsure of why, but we suspect that my condition may have mutated differently than others. Perhaps it was my proximity to... Oh, never mind, B. This sort of talk is dreadfully boring. All of this is to say we need your help, my friend. There are many problems at our feet, and you are uniquely equipped to help us. Thank you. That truly means the world to me. Let's discuss next steps. There's 2 sets of investigations I'd have you undertake. Your new friend Oberlin can fill you in on one, and I'd be happy to walk you through the other. Take a moment to relax and process. Speak with either of us when you're ready to hear. And once again, I cannot contain my excitement in having you on board. Willkommen im Team, mein Freund.
Life is no pony farm. You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know.
So, shall we begin? There are some tasks that I'm unequipped to handle myself, and I need your assistance.
No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
Excellent. As you've hopefully been made aware by now, the source of the weather phenomenon outside is a device that is under our control. Or rather, the lack thereof. Control, that is. In order to solve this error, we'll need to acquire the weather machine's blueprints. They are in the wall safe just over there. I've been known to be a bit creative with resources in the past, but I am not that wasteful. The safe can only be opened with a key that my beloved wife Cassie has chosen to hide in a very secure location. So secure that only she knows where it is. This is problematic, as she has been unwell and unresponsive for quite some time. That said, she was a diligent note-keeper. I'm certain you could find out where she moved the key to if you were to search through her notes. You should find them all in our room upstairs. It is unlocked, so you should be able to just walk in. With my condition as it is, I'm unable to do this myself, and thus, my new friend, the task falls to you. You will? Oh, wie wunderbar. Best of luck.
I could use some help over here. There was a landslide around the mansion? I wonder how that happened. You reckon that storm's gonna get worse or better? Don't you be starting to change things up around here. We got a system and it works, damn it! It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little. What if we go back to the surface and nobody wants to know us because of our, you know, condition? It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little. What if we go back to the surface and nobody wants to know us because of our, you know, condition?
I miss research, and science, and discoveries.
What if we go back to the surface and nobody wants to know us because of our, you know, condition?
You reckon that storm is gonna get...
What the hell are you doing in here? Get your filthy hands off her! What's that? Oh. I understand. I apologize. Truly. I'm just very protective of her, you know? She is my other half, and life is just not complete without her. Of course she has the key herself. I should have known. Yes, very well. If you would excuse me, I would like a moment with my wife. Come find me when you have the blueprints.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air. Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here. I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air. Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something.
Vault 63 has lasted
For the
this long.
accidents.
I believe you have something for me. Well, they're no good to me. I can't read them. Go deliver them to my daughter Audrey. She's the one who's leading the effort to repair the weather machine. Oh, and before I forget, our conversation earlier, in Cassie's room. Water under the bridge, yes? I do hope we can keep that just between us. I'd hate for rumors to flutter about. I'm happy to hear it. Oh, and before you go off to Audrey, I would like you to indulge me in another thought exercise I've been meditating on. If you were to repair a ship by replacing it plank by plank, piece by piece, so much so that no single piece of wood from the original vessel remained, would you have a new ship? Or would it still be the original, only improved? Right you are, my friend. Both in the origins of the question and its complexity. Let's say for this example that we can agree that eventually it is a new ship. Because I think the more interesting question is, at what point does it become so? After half of the planks? After the final part is replaced? Perhaps the rudder? Or mast? If we were to change piece by piece, at what point do we become something entirely new? Up. One moment. Let's perhaps hold on an answer. I'd rather that linger with you a bit. And you have important business to attend to. Now, off with you to see Audrey. She's buried in her books in the meteorology sector. I hope you have some good hiking boots. It's quite the trek. Safe travels.
These jumpsuits don't leave much room for expression.
As if things weren't bad enough. Now I have to keep an eye on an outsider. Make it quick. I've been spread thin dealing with surface-side security concerns. My more menial tasks have started to slip through the cracks, however. I can tell you're equipped to handle much worse, but tackling some issues from my backlog would be of great service to me. At least as a start. There are 3 in particular who often bring up issues to me. There are 3 residents that have been complaining about a myriad of concerns. Margaret, Lawrence, and Julio. Your best bet is to track them down. They're likely lounging about waiting for someone else to handle the hard work. They should have more than enough to keep you busy for the time being. Report back when it's been handled. In the meantime, I have other matters I need to attend to, so please, if you'd excuse me.
You reckon that storm's gonna get worse or better?
You reckon that storm is gonna get worse or better? The new animals up there. Any of them good for eating? What brings you back in here?
There was a landslide around the mansion? I wonder how that happened.
You smell something weird?
And then I saw... Do you mind?
Smell something weird?
You need something?
Don't you be...
Oh, a stranger. We haven't seen anyone from outside in a while. What brings you here? Chief Oberlin's finally getting around to dealing with this, huh? And sending in a stranger to boot. We must have it tough. Yeah, there's a few things we've brought up before. Most of it in the lower levels. Things like strange noises coming from the generator room. People are scared to go check it out in case one of the Lost are in there.
Oh, also, we have a huge rat problem in the storage room, as in, huge rats. Last time I was on a food run, something jumped right past me and snatched it. Damn near took my arm with it, too.
And, someone should probably take care of Alfie.
Yeah. Alfie was one of us, but his condition got worse until he got us to lock him in his room. He's probably lost his mind by now, but no one could bring themselves to do what needs to be done. You didn't know him, though. If there's anything you could do for him, we'd appreciate it.
Vault 63 has lasted this long. No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
You can get to the lower levels from the elevators just over there. There's also a stairwell down just across the atrium that leads directly to the storage room. Good luck, and thank you.
Good luck down there, and, welcome to Vault 63.
Have you heard about... Ugh, again? You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. The new animals...
How about some space?
Any of
buddy?
them good for
You're
eating?
standing a little close there.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air.
Yeah, people who eavesdrop are the worst.
What's up?